In 1962, the United States did something almost unthinkable. They detonated a nuclear bomb in outer space. The sky turned rainbow colors for 50 minutes. Streetlights blew out 900 miles away. 7 satellites went dark. And that was just one experiment. A flatworm grew 2 heads on the International Space Station. Bacteria became deadlier in zero gravity. A stray dog from Moscow became the first living creature to orbit Earth on a one-way trip. These are the most bizarre, most shocking experiments ever conducted beyond our planet. July 9, 1962. A Thor rocket launched from Johnston Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, carrying a 1.4 megaton thermonuclear warhead. Its destination? 250 miles straight up, into the edge of outer space. The weapon detonated at 400 kilometers altitude. What happened next stunned even the scientists who planned it. The sky erupted into a carnival of color. From Hawaii to New Zealand, witnesses saw magnificent rainbow stripes and an artificial aurora that lasted 50 minutes. But the electromagnetic pulse was devastating. 300 streetlights in Hawaii went dark. Burglar alarms screamed across Oahu. The blast blew a giant cavity in Earth's ionosphere, expelling the planet's magnetic field for 30 seconds. Over the following months, 7 satellites failed. STARFISH PRIME created an artificial radiation belt that persisted for years. Just 4 years earlier, the United States Air Force had hatched an even more audacious plan. Project A-119. The goal? Detonate a nuclear bomb on the surface of the moon. After the Soviet Union launched Sputnik in 1957, America was desperate. Rumors swirled that the Soviets planned to nuke the moon during a lunar eclipse, as a show of force. A young physicist named Carl Sagan was recruited to study what a nuclear detonation would look like on the lunar surface. The plan was classified top secret. But cooler heads prevailed. Officials realized that landing humans on the moon would be far more impressive than blowing a crater in it. Project A-119 was cancelled, and its existence remained hidden until the 1990s. On November 3, 1957, a small stray dog named Laika was sealed inside Sputnik 2 and launched into orbit. She was not expected to return. The Soviet Union had launched dozens of dogs into space, training them by confining them in progressively smaller cages for up to 20 days. But Laika's mission was different. The technology to survive re-entry didn't exist yet. This was a one-way trip. The Soviet government told the world Laika survived for a week in orbit. The truth? She died within hours from panic and overheating. This cover-up lasted 45 years. Oleg Gazenko later said, "The more time passes, the more I'm sorry about it. We did not learn enough to justify the death of the dog." But in 1960, 2 dogs named Belka and Strelka orbited Earth and returned alive, paving the way for Yuri Gagarin. Space doesn't just challenge life, it transforms it. In 2007, scientists exposed tardigrades, microscopic water bears, to the raw vacuum of space for 10 days. They survived, becoming the first animals to endure open space. In 2015, flatworms were sent to the International Space Station. One grew 2 heads. When scientists cut that worm in half back on Earth, it grew 2 heads again. Space had permanently rewritten its biology. Spiders sent to space spun completely different webs. flatter and rounder than anything seen on Earth. Salmonella bacteria became more virulent and deadly in zero gravity. And perhaps the strangest experiment of all, in 1991, NASA launched 2,000 jellyfish into orbit. By the time the mission ended, 60,000 jellyfish had been born in space. When brought back to Earth, they couldn't function in normal gravity. Space had created creatures that belonged only to the stars. These bizarre experiments weren't just curiosities. They changed history. STARFISH Prime's devastating electromagnetic pulse led directly to the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty of 1963, banning nuclear explosions in outer space. The tragic sacrifice of Laika and the Soviet space dogs proved that living beings could survive launch and orbit, directly enabling human spaceflight. Today, tardigrade research is unlocking secrets of radiation resistance for future Mars astronauts. The flatworm experiments are revealing how microgravity affects cell regeneration. We went from nuking space to building a permanent home in it. The experiments got wiser, but no less strange. Somewhere above us right now, scientists are still pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Because space doesn't follow our rules, it rewrites them.